Give me two espresso, please. What?
Well, Shopsy started in 1921. My parents, who had come over from Poland back in 1912, had, in the beginning, my father worked as a candler, candling eggs at Canada Packers, and then eventually they went up to open up this restaurant, which was really an ice cream parlor.
When I first went to Shopsy's in the 20s and 30s, they were the delicatessen on Spadina Avenue. That was it. When you thought of delicatessen, thought of Spadina Avenue, which happens to be the widest street in Toronto, by the way, and perhaps was considered by many to be the main street of Toronto, Shopsy's was the place because it was synonymous with great food, delicatessen.
Now they've made their contribution to this wonderful mix of what we call the mosaic of Canada. And now they're part of the tradition, they're part of Canada.
You never went out hungry from Shopsy's. For 30, 40 cents, you could have had enough.
I remember back in the mid-20s, and I remember I used to come there at some occasion after Wolf Cubs. And the question was whether I'm going to buy a sandwich, not unlike this. It wasn't quite as thick as this sandwich is here, but it was, I'd say, about 2/3 of this sandwich, and it was a dime. And it might have even been a nickel. And I had a big problem. My allowance was 15 cents, and I could either buy a magazine or like, I used to have English magazine like Chum, things like that, or I could have a pastrami or corned beef sandwich and a Coke.
My first job was at the CNE when I was 13. I worked in the box office, and Shopsy had just opened a booth right across the road from the new stadium. It opened in 1948, and so this would be 53. And I can remember the Shopsy stand right across the road. And what we used to do was go in and change grandstand tickets for corned beef sandwiches.
My first memory of Shopsy's is actually at the exhibition, because as a little kid, of course, I used to love going to the X, and I used to love a Shopsy's hot dog by the time I got over by the food building. But when I got a little older, Spadina Avenue was the place I went to on a few occasions. Always loved the food.
Well, when I was a kid, now I'm growing up in Hamilton, and Hamilton's only 40 miles away, but it's about 4 light years away in other ways. And when I was growing up in Hamilton, Shopsy's was like glamour, excitement, the big city. I mean, Shopsy's was everything. To me, there were the 3 delicatessens that I desperately wanted to see. Lindy's in New York City, Ben's in Montreal, and Shopsy's.
As a matter of fact, we had, and I lived on 249 University Avenue, which is now the Mount Sinai Hospital. My parents had a couple of rooms empty. We brought in actors we rented. You know, they came like on the road, Jewish actors, and I got to know them. And they also came down to the theater. Also, their hangout was to come in from the show, which is next door, and come into Shopsy's.
After all the energy you spend on stage, you need good nourishment, and I think that Shopsy's is good nourishment.
And I've had a love affair with a corned beef sandwich all my life. They used to say on Cagney and Lacey that the only love scenes that they were, for 7 years, the only love scenes on Cagney and Lacey was when my character was having a sandwich.
I'm in show business, in a sense, and I suppose I've always thought that there was a relationship there, a long-standing friendship between people in the business and Shopsy's. That no matter how long you stayed away, you could come home again, you know? And it's kind of what it means to me.
This has got to be back in the 40s, I guess, when I was hoping to become a great trumpet player, and that was the era of the zoot suits. And of course, everybody who really wanted to look hip in those days went to Sammy Taft, the Mad Hatter of Spadina. And because Sammy was such a great friend of Shopsy's, he said, have you ever tried the delicatessen? It's only a couple of steps away, you know. And that was my introduction to because I bought a hat, then I went in and got some great corned beef, and then became a regular kind of thing.
My late dad used to send me in there for a half a pound of corned beef, and they gave you a little mustard on the side, you know, no charge. And if you wanted a few crumbs of bread, they gave you the ends of the bread, and there was no charge. They created so much goodwill, and everything started with Mr. and Mrs. Shopsowitz.
This way my father used to bring the meat to the cutting board. And he used to walk right through the restaurant carrying this nice brisket.
Originally, it was the only place that you could get a corned beef sandwich, which was sliced by hand. And the smell when you walked in the store and they had those corned beefs in the back. Great.
Lots of corned beef and either white or dark rye bread it's a perfect meal to me with a half a slice of dill on it.
As soon as I'm finished talking, I'm going to dig my teeth in to a good corned beef sandwich.
Oh, tongue. I've always had a passion for tongue sandwiches. Tongue and the corned beef sandwiches. They were always the number. And the chickpeas. I used to like the chickpeas.
Oh, no, you don't really want me to mean hot dog, it's a Shopsy, hot dog, it's a Shopsy. I mean that. That's as much as I'll sing. And Paramount in my eyes, they had to do everything I said, couldn't pay me. I got paid in a lot of hot dogs, corned beef. It was better than money.
Here at Shopsy's, a traditional Irish delicatessen, they're serving their famed green matzah soup. I've been told they've been doing this for the last 55 years. Yum, yum.
They have some I've always been curious about, you know, I see these wonderful spreads for buffets, for brunches, or any other thing. How does an executive chef decide what will be in a buffet? What will work?
But at the same time, we like to be creative, too, because we're having this once week only on Sundays, and we create a whole new restaurant in the atrium in the sense. So we're building up and trying to create new ideas and see the response from the customer, too. And we got lots of repeat customers letting us know what tastes good and what doesn't taste correct, yes.
And what is this over here? That looks...
That's a cream cheese, lox cream cheese.
Oh, isn't
yes,
that
what
great?
you eat, of course, with the bagels and the Kaiserplatz and the onion.
Could we eat that now?
Sure, no problem. It's perfect for the morning, you know.
And right next to us, we have Mike carving out some freshly baked off pastrami, served with the potato latkes.
And for dessert, choosing just one will be difficult, if not impossible.
Aside from a very full stomach, you can also leave with a small memento of your visit, a caricature of yourself. The artist will come right to your table and have your likeness ready in 5 to 10 minutes. How is it? Uh-oh. Oh, no. You promised you'd be gentle.
Like it or not, it's a free service offered by Shopsy's every Sunday. The all-you-can-eat buffet is at Shopsy's every Sunday from 11 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., and it'll be on until mid-December. The cost is $5.95 for children and $12.95 for adults. For reservations, give them a call at 365-3333. They're located at 33 Yonge Street. That's the corner of Yonge and Front.
Thanks, Harold. That's City Pulse for tonight. The next comes your way tonight at 10. Thanks for tuning in.
We leave you now with pictures of Metro's finest out in force today doing their bit to raise money for the Herbie Fund.
It provides specialized medical care to kids from around the world. Good night.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Metro Police were handing out phony tickets on Front Street to help raise money for the Herbie Fund. 50 officers handed out leaflets to drivers, letting them know that free salamis from Shopsy's were available for any donation over $10 to the Herbie Fund. Helping out were 50 young women from modeling agencies. The Herbie Fund provides medical care at the Hospital for Sick Children for needy children from around the world. Good deal. Get a salami for $10.
Now this is how they sell hot dogs in Florida. Check this. Yes. That's my bathing suit. This outfit has gotten Gloria in a lot of trouble. You'll hear a story in just a moment. This is Gloria Gonzalez, and this is what she wears to work. We're thinking... You sell hot dogs in Florida.
Right.
Now, a lot of Canadians are going to go to Florida, and a lot more as of right now. Where will they find you in Florida?
I'm in Lake Worth Road.
Lake Worth Road.
And Military Trail.
Okay, Lake Worth Road, Military Trail. There'll just be a lot of Canadians heading that way. And just say, hi, Gloria, buy yourself a hot dog.
Big bucks for needy kids, the goal of Operation Herbie. Metro Chairman Alan Tonks and Toronto Argo General Manager Mike McCarthy mobilized police officers and models to collect money for the Herbie Fund. It paves the way for children from around the world who need specialized medical care here in Toronto. In return for a $10 donation, drivers got a football shaped like a salami. A reminder of the Grey Cup this Sunday at Skydome.
The Herbie Fund.
What is the Herbie Fund exactly?
Well, it's a fund that was set up for children who cannot get the needed medical attention that they require in their home country. So they travel to Canada to our Hospital for Sick Kids, as you know, which is a world-renowned institution, and this money helps provide the transportation and the accommodation for them to get the life-saving surgery that they need here.
I know Herbie Day starts on the 25th, but it runs right past the Grey Cup, doesn't it?
It runs right up to and including the Grey Cup, and these salamis, like I said, are available at Shopsy's from noon to 2 o'clock on Thursday afternoon, and you can purchase them there from that point right up to Grey Cup Day.
Thanks, Rob. And down at Front and Yonge Street, 50 police officers and 50 models are handing out salamis shaped like footballs.
And CFTO's Bill Hutchison is standing by live with more details. Bill?
Well, Tim and Sandra, if you come down to Yonge and Front for the next hour or so, you're going to get a $10 ticket. Now, it's not a ticket that you actually have to pay like the people down here that are receiving the tickets. It's a donation to the Herbie Fund, and if you get the $10 ticket and you come over and you give them the $10 here, you get a salami which is shaped like a football. Now, Chairman Alan Tonks is paying his $10 right now.
Football. There's your I still get the ticket for the $10.
And Chairman Tonks has proclaimed this as Herbie Day. Chairman Tonks, can you explain Herbie Day and the idea of the $10?
Well, I'll tell you, the police horse almost got half the salami that we tried this out before. This is Herbie Day, the Metropolitan Police Force joining with various model agencies, the Shopsies, the Argonauts, to promote the Herbie Fund, which is a fund that, through the hospitals, helps children across the country and from abroad coming here in their hours of greatest need when they need medical help, but they can't get it anywhere else. So the fund helps us to help people, especially young people, when they need medical treatment.
You did this last year. How well did it do?
They raised about $10,000 last year from these salami Shopsy's footballs. And I'll tell you, that's great value. That's great value. And the $10,000 went into the Herbie Fund. And over the years, since about 1979, they've helped over 200 young people who have had to come to Canada as a source of comfort in their medical need, and it's just been wonderful.
And those salamis will stay fresh because it feels like a meat locker outside today.
Well, I gotta tell you, I carried one of these in the back of my car for about 3 weeks, and every time we needed a little respite, we had a chunk of it, and they just taste great.
All right, thanks, Chairman Tonks.
Well, drivers had to pay a toll at Yonge and Front Streets today, and the reason? Well, today is